like to call this meeting from the continuation meeting from September the 4th, from recess back into general session. As we had concluded on September the 4th that we would reconvene here on Friday the 6th. We are back in regular session.
Board, I would ask that we add one item onto the agenda, which would be an amendment and an extension of a contract for services for inmate food.
You want a motion? I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion to add the item for inmate food. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Judy?
Mrs. Corcoran?
Yes.
Mr. Painter?
Yes. We have added an item to the agenda. But before we deal with that added item, we need to deal with item number 19 we placed on the table.
Can we hold that on the table? Because the added item will be a little bit different than item 19 that was tabled. So we can retain that on the table still?
Would we rather do that, or would we rather?
Yes, because eventually we will pull it off the table.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
We will leave it on the table and move to,
The add-on, which is the amendment and the extension.
okay,
So the additional item that we're asking today is a recommendation of the county sheriff with my concurrence, and this will be to execute an amendment to and an extension of the contract for services between the board and Summit Food Services out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, for inmate food services for the Clermont County Adult and Juvenile Detention Facilities. This was previously ratified by the board on August 29, 2018. This amendment will extend the term for an additional 21 days to September 29th, 2019. All other terms and conditions and provisions of the current original contract will remain in full force and effect.
you've heard the reading of the item for inmate food services. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion for the amendment and extension as read.
And I will second that motion. Any further conversation or discussion? I would ask we have legal counsel here. Any clarification or discussion that needs to happen for this?
If you have any questions regarding this, we originally were going to amend and renew the contract for an additional year, which is what was contemplated in the original contract. We weren't able to do that as there is a finding of recovery against the company. Suki and I have been working on this the last few days, and while we can't do the renewal for an additional year, the extension will allow time to operate under the existing contract and kind of keep everything flowing as it needs to until we can legally enter into the renewal.
And therefore, the reason that item number 19 is staying on the table, because that will be addressed at a later date.
That's
Okay.
correct.
Yes.
And we anticipate that the company will take care of that.
And I just found out this afternoon that the Attorney General has had this finding certified to them. So finally, yes, just now.
As of today.
So now we'll be able to deal with it a little differently than we could the last 2 days.
And so just to clarify for anyone that would have any questions, the real issue here is that the food services contract was up for renewal of the contract items. The state of Ohio had issued a finding for recovery against that company, and legislative requirements prohibit the Board of County Commissioners from entering into a new contract when a company has a finding of recovery.
That's correct. This
Okay.
finding of recovery is new. Obviously, it was not in place when the original contract was entered. This is for food services, and it's something that food services for the inmates obviously needs to continue. So we all believe that working under the same terms and conditions that currently exist for the next 21 days until we can do a renewal under new terms and conditions that we've already discussed and agreed to, that legally we can extend it that far to get to the point where the board can enter into the renewal.
Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Counselor, anything to add?
No.
Okay.
I know I got here a little bit late, but
It's all right.
It's all right.
And
We've discussed it this great length
Okay.
over the last 36 hours.
Hmm.
I think what Ms. Nichols is proposing is the appropriate course.
Okay.
At this point in time, the only other alternative is really not a realistic alternative.
Understood. Understood. We have to continue to provide food services for the 420 some inmates that we have currently in the jail. Understood. Roll call, Judy.
Mrs. Corcoran.
Yes.
Mr. Painter.
Yes. Anything else to come before this board? Then I would ask for a motion to adjourn our meeting as today that has extended all the way from September the 4th when the meeting started. I would think that historically, this is the longest Clermont County Board of Commissioners meeting on record, I would think.
I'm getting a little sleepy.
Do I have a motion for adjournment?
Yes, I'll make that motion.
And I'll second that motion. Roll call, Judy.
Mrs. Corcoran.
Yes.
Painter.
Yes. We are adjourned, and thanks for coming back with us today on this beautiful Friday. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.